11,160 pounds, Cougar 359 mid-bunk coming in on trade. Exceptionally well kept. You know what? I think this is the first used mid-bunk I've ever seen at Haylett RV. These things have really not been in the main marketplace for very long. They're, you know, really high demand item. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a used one. I bet there's going to be a lot of people hitting the phone on this one really fast. This is hard to find in the used market. Now the folks still have some things to pull out of us, so pardon the moving box there. But I did want to show you can get to the bedroom and bathroom easily. You could get up here to the sleeping loft easily. So for traveling, if you need to hit the bathroom or take a nap, you do have the ability to do that. But for living space, you're definitely going to have to open the slides. But that's usually pretty common with opposing super slides in an island. Now my first impressions here are very positive. This is very nicely kept, very clean. Previous owners were very good people. It was really fun talking to them. They were, they liked nice things, but they were like good, how do I say it, like salt of the earth people, just real folks, you know. Mostly part kept for its life, which is kind of nice because that means like the suspension, the chassis, the structure, etc. has not gone through a lot of stress. You know, naturally begs the question, why is it here? Well, they're going to start doing more traveling, and they want to be able to bring the toys. So they swapped out, they were really happy with their Keystone product here. They swapped it out for a Keystone Fusion fifth wheel toy hauler here at Haylett RV, and off they go. Yeah, actually, they just transferred stuff over. You can see that's their Fusion sitting there in the background. They just moved all their things out, and I'm in here right away. So one of the, you know, the cool parts about a middle bunkhouse is that really, even though we call it a mid-bunk, the focal point is the living room. And that's what's kind of cool about it, because traditionally bunkhouses have crappy living areas. But a middle bunkhouse is really one of the best exceptions to that rule, because you get the same living room that you can get, like, in today's market, a living room like this would be called a 315 RLS Cougar. You know, sharp unit. The only thing is, this just has an extra room in the middle for sleeping, which, you know what, speaking of, as if the middle bunkhouse and the loft weren't enough, we also have a hide-a-bed. But what's neat is you not only get that hide-a-bed sofa in the back, which is actually pretty cool, because between the front bedroom, the loft, the middle room, the bonus room, if you will, which has another one of these. So, real quick, take a look at this hide-a-bed right here. That's exactly the same thing that you're going to see in the middle bunk room. So now that we know what it looks like and how it'll be. But my point is, you have 4 separated sleeping zones in a mid-bunk room with a loft like this. That's what's kind of cool about it. And what's also kind of cool is when that sofa is folded out, you do still maintain use of one of the 2 theater recliners if you need to kick back. Or if you got a little kid, can easily sleep on those through the night, and they don't seem to complain. They actually seem to enjoy it quite a bit. Now, if you look at the slide side there, you can see that I pulled the night shades to help with video and picture purposes. It was a little bit bitey and brutal in here. That's one of the nice things about the Cougars built during this generation, is that they had those nicer roll-down, like, blackout shades, basically. Another quick note, if you look at the rear wall, on both sides of the sofa, you're going to find power outlets. And I'm telling you, even if it's just having a phone charger available in another location, in a model like this, where you could have tons of people in here at the same time, having the ability to have more of those chargers plugged in and running around, that is incredibly beneficial. You know what? I didn't even think about it. I don't even know why, but I should have folded that booth dinette down to add the extra sleeping capacity there. But hey, you get the idea. You could sleep 4 in the living room here, 2 in the bunk room, 2 in the loft, 2 more up front. Holy cow, you can sleep a lot of people in this thing. Another cool thing, big old windows on the door side of the RV, so you can look out at your campsite. You don't care about the neighbor's campsite, you care about your campsite. You can also keep an eye on the kiddos that you care about with all the windows on this door side, which is pretty darn sharp. And a pretty solid kitchen here. The newer Cougars, actually, behind the TV, they've added some shelving for storage space. This one doesn't have the shelving back there, but it wouldn't necessarily be hard to put that in. I guess I should talk about the fact that the TV swings out for easy viewing no matter where you're sitting in the living room as well. And hey, electric space heating fireplace below so that you can get some heat without burning up your propane capacity. Now, you see how there's outlets right on that island face right there? Having easy reach outlets is something that Cougar's actually pretty good about, especially in today's market as well. And although it is kind of hidden by that bunk room door, or middle room door, whatever you want to call it, there is a like floor-to-ceiling pantry there as well. Now, anywhere you see counter space, below it, naturally, logic follows, there has to be cabinet space, and this is no exception. These folks had this sucker packed. It actually, there were 4 of us here at Haylett RV helping them transfer their stuff over. This thing had such storage capacity. There were 4 of us working on it for about 25 to 30 minutes before we finally got this emptied out. And when I came in, I realized they left the fridge running. So I shut the fridge off and opened the doors to let it breathe, and lo and behold, I found a whole bunch of Hungry Man dinners and banquet pot pies in here. So I know the freezer works well because those things were cold. Alrighty, moving on into that middle bonus room. So we already got to see what a trifold sleeper sofa looks like in here, so we get the idea. This is in more of like a daytime mode. These are also... really, this is less of a middle bunk room. I think it's a little more of a middle bonus room. And that might sound like I'm splitting hairs, but this does more than just sleep people, which is sort of the implication of a bunkhouse. This is really, frankly, this is kind of a second entertainment room. This is a second living room. Small, of course, but it could be the kids' den, if you will. You've got another one of these TVs that can pivot around for easy viewing in here. You got the sofa that can open up. Or this could be overflow pantry storage or kids storage space here. Now, another neat thing is any light that doesn't have a direct switch in this generation was touch activated. And that was one of my favorite Cougar features that they moved away from, is just that little thing. You touch that little silver ring and there you go. I just thought it was so smart. But I don't know, maybe it was too expensive because they don't seem to do it anymore, or the supplier couldn't keep up. That is one of those other things with Cougar. Being such a high volume brand, suppliers have to be able to keep up. Now up here in the loft, you could be like the previous folks were. They didn't really use it for sleeping. Here is an attic. It was just a huge tote storage closet, basically, is what it was. You've got remote control system right here. Let's see if they ever changed the code. They did. They actually changed the code. We'll have to get that reset for somebody. But the point here is you've got a remote control that will activate things like your lights, awning, slides, exterior lighting rather. It can do all kinds of neat little things for you. But you also have a master control center right here. You can come in and control everything. And in the kitchen, you have that max air vent fan in the ceiling. Here's your wall controller. It seems a little odd that it is mounted a bit away from the kitchen, but for standardization, and that is one of the things Cougar's good at, is standardizing things to help control cost and quality, to improve quality. They will have all the wiring always located in one area every single time, and that's where this one was located. Bathroom up here. What is kind of nice is that by not having a second door to the bedroom, which I know some people really like Eagles do that quite often. What it allowed them, though, is this bigger one-piece molded fiberglass shower with corner seating area. In a way, this is kind of like a Montana Junior bathroom. It's very similar, actually. This one happens to be facing opposite direction, I guess you could say, from the current Cougar bathrooms, but that's the general gist of it. And we do have, it looks like they added some shelving at really odd places. Like it's really high in that cavity, but neither here nor there. You could always remove them. I mean, if they added them in, you can take them out, no sweat. And a porcelain foot flush stool. Now, up here in the bedroom, very easy to walk around bed. This is a 60 by 80 queen. This was made the year before Cougars started being a little more king friendly, although I'm looking at this and it might be a bit of a squish. But if you really wanted to, you might be able to sneak a king bed in there. Maybe. It's close. I don't know. We could try it. So, the back side of that shower, towel storage, there we go. On the back side of the shower, there is all this extra storage here in the bedroom. So they didn't just waste a pocket. Now, previous owners had a second air conditioner installed to give this thing max cooling capacity. You see you got your front closet and the right-hand cabinet in the bottom right there. That is set for a combo washer-dryer if you are interested in doing that. It's about the only add-on the previous owners did not apply to this one, although statistically 98% of people don't add a washer-dryer, even though everyone thinks they have to have the hookups. It's kind of funny. They did add a TV against this wall. They did take it with them since they added it aftermarket. And what's nice is it makes it easy to be able to see, oh, that's exactly where I need to run a mount into the wall, so you know right where to mount the thing, which is kind of handy. Back outside, she is clean and gleaming. I haven't spotted anything yet outside that concerns me in the slightest. Actually, everything's pretty nice out here. Dual power awnings. The second awning was added to the super slide of this one at the factory level. Both are easy tilt. Both have LED lighting. Although it was primarily part kept, it does still have an upgraded Trail Air rubber shock dampening pin box on there. So it is something that if you do decide to tow and go with it, the pin box and the suspension have had treatments to make towing and going a little smoother and easier. If you look right up top above that beautiful painted nose gap, you can see the second air conditioner that was added on, you know, peeking out at us right there to maximize the total cooling power on this one. Protective slide awnings were added to this. That would have been an aftermarket job, and 4 of those, man, the price of that can add up very, very quickly. Now you've got compression latches here, and the previous owner still has some stuff to get out, so I can't quite get in there quite yet, but I can take a peek down here and take a knee and look at the underbelly. This is 0 to 100 degree rated, so and Cougars have been, I guess that's the definition essentially of 4 seasons rated nowadays, but they have been that way for many years. And again, clean, gleaming, highly reflective, looks like a mirror on the side of this thing right here. The aluminum wheels looking good. If you get down here, you can see the MORryde CRE 3000 suspension. You traditionally see those in blue. Cougar worked with MORryde and had theirs painted yellow. When you're a high volume brand like Cougar, I guess you can make things like that happen. The folding cargo rack on the back here is something that actually makes the length of this read artificially long, because they have to measure to the back of the bumper. But if you measure the box size, you're actually about 11 inches shorter than the published length dimension. That's a 225-pound rated cargo rack on the back. And below that, previous owners added a 2-inch receiver, and it almost looks like they may have done some towing with this, because they took some time to add a 7-way wiring harness right there, like if you're going to have a trailer behind it or something like that. So everything from ground level looks pretty good. Let's take a trip up top. Now what I'm seeing up here looks pretty common for park use. Like if you look on top of one of the big slide awnings, you can see where maybe some leaves and stuff had puddled up. But that's the whole point, they had the slide awnings, to keep the leaves and whatnot from off the top of the slide out. So it's done its job. You can tell it's been parked under trees, but you can also tell that they cleaned it periodically, because overall the membrane looks pretty good. The seals are at the point where I would say within a year, you're probably going to start needing to do a couple little touch-up beads. Like here's a good example. It's not leaking right now. There's no water penetrating, but you can see how it's starting to kind of crease around there. That's the sort of thing you want to look for where you want to do a little touch-up bead. But short of that, everything up here looks good. The front termination strip looks good. I don't really see anything that concerns me. So whether it's you know, one of the many used RVs we have over there, or the entire sea of new RVs we have available anytime, give us a call here at Haylett RV. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.